Hello again.
Um,
First of all, we want to say that if Hazel sounds a little funny, it's because she's picked up yet another cold.
oh,
I
they've been back at school for a week. So,
so obviously
clearly
they brought
it was
something home.
about time that they brought something
Yes. So if Hazel sounds a little peculiar
home. More
today,
peculiar than usual.
well, I'm glad you said it. Then that's the reason why. So, and lots of sympathy for Hazel, please. Lots and lots. Today's video is about selling your novel by writing an elevator pitch. If you haven't seen the previous ones, which are how to write your synopsis and how to write your blurb, then please do look for those videos as well. That's numbers 1 and 2 of the series. So an elevator pitch. As well, you may have heard of them if you are in business particularly, or you may not have heard of an elevator pitch. Essentially, an elevator pitch is something very, very short that will give your audience an immediate grasp of what your story is about and what you're trying to do with it, what it deals with
It's
in the time it takes to go between floors in an elevator.
Ideally, you're looking at 1 or 2 sentences tops,
Yes.
really. And usually they are aimed at agents and publishers. The whole pitch thing, it's people you are pitching it to in the hope that they're going to take it up and take it further, publish it, represent you, whatever. Now, the good news is that if you've already done the blurb, then you've probably broken the back of it because you've gone from the synopsis, distilling your story into a page or so. You've gone to the blurb, which is distilling it into a paragraph or so. Now you're going to distill it further into a sentence or 2.
So even if you are aiming to self-publish or publish with support rather than go traditional publishing, an elevator pitch is still a really useful thing to have, because if somebody out and about, you say, oh yes, I've got a novel out, and they say, oh, what's it about?
Yes, it's
You've got
good
to
to have that
give it to
phrase.
them quick.
It's good to have it there in your back pocket to reel out and say, it's about this.
Yes.
Because when people ask you that, your mind invariably goes blank and you're trying to think, well, actually, I mean, what is it about?
Yes. And then you start a 10-minute ramble. Well, you might not, but some of us might.
No, I do. So we thought I'd give examples of 2 of the novels that I've written. The first would be my children's story, which is Tooth Snatcher and the War of Winter, which unfortunately is not available at this moment in time.
Not yet.
In time. So the elevator pitch for this is: a grumpy tooth fairy, a pint-sized Santa, and a man in a bunny outfit team up to save time, children, and tigers, and stop the world becoming a soulless tundra, if they can stop bickering for long enough, that is. So that's that. It's enough to hook you. It doesn't tell you what's going on, what's going to happen. It doesn't tell you anything about the plot. It introduces the main characters and what they're doing and a couple of elements. So they're saving time, they're saving children, and they're saving tigers. So that's enough of a hook that anybody reading that will go, oh, and they bicker a lot. So they're out to try and save all that and to stop the world becoming a soulless tundra, but they keep bickering. And what's the deal with the man in the bunny outfit? So, it's that kind of, there's enough there to pique someone's interest and make them curious.
Yeah.
The next example I will give is from my novel Babs and Aggie, The Good, the Bad and the Vegan, which will be available at the end of February. And let me get this right. Babs and Aggie navigate the anger, frustration and loss of self that can occur when a woman reaches a certain age, be it 50 or 1,050. It tells the story of the centuries-old witches living in modern-day suburbia, weaving their particular brand of magic and mischief to rescue a friend from a dangerous relationship. So again, it gives a little bit about what the themes of the novel are. It gives insights into the themes of the novel. It introduces the main characters, and it tells you roughly what the plot is going to be about. So they are witches, they're in modern day suburbia, they're helping a friend out from a dangerous relationship. And, you know, it's also got the underlying themes of they've got a bit of loss of self because clearly they're centuries old. So the loss of self, be it 50 or 1,050, refers to one or both of them. So it tells you roughly what it's about, and in doing so it tells you who it's for as well, so that somebody listening to it will go, oh, that's exactly the type of thing that would appeal to, that's exactly the type of thing that we could sell to if we're being cynical. That's who our audience is.
Yes.
And someone who just generally asks you, it lets them know if it's for them as well.
Yes, exactly. So there are various elements which will appeal to various types of people. Probably the biggest audience would be women of a certain age who may well have felt or are feeling a certain loss of self or feeling frustration, and are looking to have that solved vicariously, perhaps, in the novel.
Feel a little more empowered.
Yes, exactly. So we went into sales pitch for your novel then, didn't we?
You've got a bit of a wait yet, a few more months.
Yes, but I'm so excited. I just love to talk about it. And it is fabulous. And the elevator pitch you've got for it is great. And it does exactly what an elevator pitch ought to do. It is short. It gives people a very clear idea of whether they are going to like it, if they are an agent or a publisher, whether they are going to be able to sell it, because they will be thinking about it commercially rather so much personally as to whether they would want to read it.
So regardless as to whether you finished your novel or not, now is the time to think about things like your blurb and your elevator pitch, because aside from anything else, it helps to focus on what the story is and keeps you on track with your storytelling as you're writing it. So it's thinking about what the themes of your story are, who the main characters are, what the stakes are. So in both pitches, I got across who the main characters were, what the stakes were, and certainly in the latter it was what the themes were. But in the first one, you got that idea that it was a children's fantasy, and you know there would be bickering, so it implies that there's friendship at stake there. So you get the impression of the underlying themes without having to say, oh, and by the way, they've got to learn how to make up and be friends again. So those are the 3 bits of advice I'd give you. Look at your characters, look at the stakes, look at the themes, see if you can get those into 1 or 2 sentences.
Yeah, absolutely. I would add that as well as it helping getting your elevator pitch and your blurb and all of the other bits at least drafted, it can help you write the novel, it can help you stay on track. And if you have already written it, you can then consider your editing in the light of that, because it then gives you kind of litmus tests to put every chapter of your novel through. So, you know, is it important? Is this chapter, is this scene, is this paragraph, are all of the elements in it important? Are they helping me to achieve what I said the book is about?
Yes.
So there we go. So that is elevator pitch. And
somewhat shorter, appropriately so, if we're talking
appropriately so. And we will see you next week for the final one in this mini series, which is going to be cover letters.
Cover letters, yes.
Cover letters, the dreaded cover letter.
In the meantime, I'm going to go and have some honey and lemon.
I think you should.
Yes, hopefully be more compost mentis, as my husband says.
Compost. Okay. You have a go. Bye, everyone.
Right. See you all soon. Bye-bye.